Good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group in Phoenix Animal. You know, I love paradoxes. I've been doing them for the longest time. You know, where A equals B, and you go, that doesn't make sense. Well, today, the animal team and the administration, as I would call it, is bringing up an interesting paradox that our current Trump administration affected or caused. And I'm going to show you some things. And Mr. Fox, the president's assistant, President Elephant has an assistant. His name is Mr. Fox. He is going to detail why this is a paradox. And then I'm going to come back with some supporting video pictures, you might say, that would be personifying why this was actually a paradox. So anyway, let's get going. And this is related to a chemical spill in the United States. And it needed to be where it was dangerous for the people that were in the area. So let's kind of just go on and get into it. You know, you're seeing a train that got derailed, which is certainly a scary thing. And consequently, there was a very dangerous chemical spill. And, it isn't with chemical spills that they kind of fix themselves. No, it's where you need people on the ground helping people, helping ensure that it's not worse than you would expect. So let's first have Mr. Fox explain what the paradox was or is. Here we go.
Good morning. This is Mr. Fox, and as you know, I am the assistant to the elephant president. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about a paradox that the administration has gone down that, I guess you might say, paradox road. On one hand, the administration announced a $10 million fund dedicated to a health study for East Palestine, Ohio, a community that experienced a significant train derailment and chemical spill. This allocation suggests a commitment to addressing the health concerns of residents impacted by this environmental disaster. However, this stands in stark contrast to a broader action taken by the administration. Simultaneously, there has been reports of substantial cuts to the scientific research across various federal agencies, including proposed reductions of billions from the National Institute of Health, NIH. This includes the termination of a significant number of research grants. The paradox lies in the apparent contradiction. A specific publicized investment in a particular health study, while at the same time enacting policies that significantly diminish the overall capacity for scientific research and public health initiatives. Critics argue that while the East Palestine funding is a positive step, it doesn't align with the broader pattern of de-emphasizing and defunding critical scientific infrastructure that would be necessary to prevent and respond to similar crises in the future, or to address widespread public challenges. This creates a situation where a targeted solution is offered, but the systemic support for such solutions is simultaneously being eroded. Wow. Hey, in and out, up and down. I hope you all have a good day, and thank you for listening.
Okay, well, I hope you kind of understood where Mr. Fox was coming from. And as he discussed, there were funds given to the NIH or grants, and the money that was given in general to NIH would have been used to help kind of working on this bill, fixing it, trying to make sure people are safe, try to make sure that, obviously when you have a derailment, it can damage the tracks, it can damage the trains. So bottom line, they would need to really try to put everything back the way it was. But what was interesting is, here's the best description as mentioned by Mr. Fox. This is an illustration or a picture of money going into NIH, which would be used for things like this, grants and so on and so forth, to fix, in this case, this derailment and the chemical problems in the trains, the tracks. But then you see somebody's walking out with money. So the paradox here is that it happened. There had been money given to the NIH from one side of the government, and then unknown to that whatever and why they were using the money for this problem, they were defunding things. So you get into, and this can happen too many times, where you have money set aside for calamities like this, and the money is designed, again, to help the community, help people, fix things, fix the tracks, the trains, ensure that it's, put back to the way it was. And instead, on another person working on issues, they're taking money away from the NIH. That's a paradox. We're going to fix it because we have the money. We take the money and we can't fix it. Real paradoxical. And, it's a similar description where you'd say the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And that's pretty much a recap. I want to thank you for being here. Mr. Fox enjoyed speaking with you. And I really, really appreciate you supporting the channel. One thing I will say, I was doing Vertical Live. And in essence, it was where, because as you know, Vertical is the same format that YouTube uses for shorts, which is 9:16. You won't be tested on this. And I was doing live vertical presentations, but I found that even though a while back, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, YouTube was saying, this is the best thing from sliced bread, these vertical lives. Well, the fact that most of, and a lot of people watching these videos, a good percentage is on much larger screens, meaning televisions, iPads, computers, and the vertical live for both the content creator and the customers or the watchers, the viewers, would say, gee, can't get much, you don't have much real estate for putting in videos and the pictures larger and so on and so forth. So it was like I was kind of doing what I thought was what I don't want to say what YouTube wanted, but they had pushed it. And I said, I realize that really most of what people are watching, especially if it's not on their iPhone or Android phone, that format on a phone is set for the vertical 9:16. But if you're watching it on anything else, and as I mentioned a minute ago, TVs, big screen TVs, computer monitors, laptops, you've got a 16:9 format generally. And so one would say, well, then you need to do you need to do videos that are in the same logical format that would view much better on, in the format 16:9. But anyway, just wanted to explain that. Thank you very, very much for being here. And I really appreciate it. It's only, 11 minutes, but thank you so much for your time. And please take care. Be good.